I went to this man's house probably a year or so after I started the business, and it was an old house in an old neighborhood, and he had a cat that was laying on the stove just like this, and his claws had curled around and started growing back into the pads, so the cat couldn't get up. So he said, just pick the cat up, move and clean. So I picked the cat up, I put it over here, cleaned, put the cat back. Cat seemed perfectly happy. And then, as I was moving my way through the house, he said, hey, watch out for that black snake up under the couch. And I thought he was kidding. And I bent over and I looked down in there. Saw these two black little beady eyes looking back at me. I was like, oh, hell no. I have over 100 houses that we do. I got 6 employees out working right now, including these 2. So I've got clients from the first year I started. I've seen people give birth to their children and send them off to college. But like I said, I was doing all kinds of other things. This business basically runs itself. I do the schedule, I do some training. Like jobs like this that are a real bear, I'll come help. I came from North Dakota, believe that or not.
Did you grow up in North Dakota?
Yeah, I grew up in North Dakota. Through elementary school, and then I went to middle school in Chapel Hill. I went from one black kid in the whole school to Phillips Junior High School, which is probably, what then was probably 40% black. It was some culture shock. All right, these things are toxic, man. You know, I flip houses every now and then. I've got 3 rental properties on Butner, and need to get back and doing some more flips. For a while there, some of the ones I was trying to flip I couldn't sell, so I just rented them. And I got so much more than what the mortgage was. Like, shit. You don't have to pay capital gains until you sell it, so I'm not going to sell them. You know, there's more racial tension now than there was when I was at Chapel Hill. We were talking about this the other day, and the reason is, I think, Dean Smith. Dean Smith took a black guy to the Pines restaurant, first black person ever stepped foot in there except for employees. And he kind of set the tone for that town. And the other thing that was different was all the policemen lived in Chapel Hill, and their kids went to school with us. And they got peer pressure from our parents not to put me in jail all the time. But now my daughter's was 3 weeks shy of being 21. She got pulled, blew a .04 legal, but she was a month away from being 21. Cost her $8,000.
Wow. I
was riding down the road puffing a big fatty. They got pulled over. We had alcohol in the car, and I was 17. Cop said, "Go home, you stupid fool." Nothing happened. I don't think they can use discretion anymore. Durham cops are the worst, man. One of my nephews had a bipolar episode and ended up in Butner for a couple of days. And I met Bernie Madoff. Just a regular guy. Yeah, it was weird. Just thinking about how, it was billions with him, wasn't it? Billions? Multiple billions. And he was just, it was shortly after his son, I think, had committed suicide. And he must have been heavily sedated or something, because he just seemed like he was out of it. And I didn't know who he was. He came up and introduced himself like he was a celebrity or something. It's like, oh really? Glad my mom wouldn't invest in a little pyramid. I went to UNCG. I had too much fun. Way too much. I played ball there, I played basketball. And, a couple years before I went there, it was still an all women's college. So when I was there, 10,000 women, 2,000 guys, and a lot of the guys were in the theater department or the nursing department, if you know what I mean. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but made my work a little bit harder. That's where I met my wife, soon to be ex-wife. The divorce will be final at the end of this month, and we've been separated 7 years. But I tried to get my own health insurance. She's worked at the Angus Barn. You know the Angus Barn?
Yeah.
She's worked there for 25 years. And always had excellent health insurance through them. But I think they're staunch Republicans and they want to make Obamacare fail. So that they jacked up, they made the insurance just terrible. And so I wouldn't apply it. I mean, I'm sure that the next president or whoever is going to repeal it. But for right now, I can get insurance. So, yeah, that's what I said. And allowed me to, move on with my life.
So is that what was holding up?
That was what's, yeah. Well, I mean, we have like mortgages together still, so we're gonna have to work all that out. But there's nothing being contested, and I'm not mad at her anymore. So, looking forward to the official freedom. Tried internet dating for the first time. Oh my God. What a mess. They're hesitant to meet. Once you meet them, it seems okay, but.
What do they think the Texan's gonna do? See if you're a normal person?
Yeah, I guess. Like that's a criteria for being normal. Being able to sit in your underwear, text and email. But what I found is there's a lot of liars. And that drove all the way to Winston to meet this lady. And miraculously, she had gained 100 pounds in about 25 years from the picture that she had on her profile. And being the big brave guy that I am, I saw her. I called her to confirm that that was her, and she answered, and I spoke. I saw her lips move, and I turned, and I ran. I did. I don't care. I guess there's a lot of jackass men out there who ruin it for decent guys. Somebody's afraid to meet. They want to email, text endlessly. I'm not a very good texter or emailer, not a good typist. What is she expecting though? I didn't want to be mean. And if I'd have talked to her, I'd have been mean. I was like, when I finally did speak with her via text, I was like, was those pictures even you? And she said, yeah, they were me. I said, how long ago? And that's when the conversation stopped. She didn't want to talk about that. When I'm done, I'm done. When I head home, I don't think about this anymore.